I like writing things out in words and word problems first. So you could pause to read the word problem, but we basically have two trains, and we're wondering when the two distances they've traveled are 100 miles. Because we're said that the trains are going in the opposite direction. So, if we take the distance that train 1 has traveled, where's my laser pointer? Distance that train 1 has traveled, and add it to the distance that train 2 has traveled. We need to find out when they're 100 miles apart. We get to add them because they're going in opposite directions. So if he goes 40 and he goes 50, they're 90 apart right now. If he goes 20 miles total and he goes 70 miles total, they're still 90 miles apart. So if we could just put some math in here, some algebra in here, then we can solve an equation. Let's start with this little fact here, that the distance is equal to the rate multiplied times the time that we travel. So if you're going 60 miles an hour for 1 hour, 60 times 1 gives you your distance of 60 miles. If you're going 60 miles an hour for 2 hours, 60 times 2 gives you 120 miles. That's the distance you've traveled. So that's a fact that we can use here. This train 1 here we can represent with blue, that the distance it's traveled is found by taking, how fast is this guy going? He's going, train 1's going 40 miles an hour, so I'm putting a 40h here, because the 40 was the rate it's traveling at. The h represents the time. So that this expression here represents the distance that the first train has traveled. Then we're going to add to that, and at the different color here, the distance the other train has traveled. So if the other train is going 60 miles an hour, we got 60h that we can put here. And that's all supposed to equal 100 miles, because we're wondering when their two distances add up to be 100, when they're 100 miles apart. And so now we got an equation we can solve for h. Okay, you can, since it's 40h plus 60h, they're both h's, so that means they're both like terms. We can just say it's 100h. And in order to solve that equation, it's easy. H has to be 1, so we're just going to say it's going to take 1 hour for those two trains to be far apart. If you're doing a similar problem, you watch this video because you have two trains, but the things are a little different. Really, you just got to go back and modify the sentence that you make to start off the problem. But there are also plenty of videos, both in Quick Math and on the web, that deal with these train rate problems.